Good evening, captains. How the devil are you? Welcome to my first patch notes proper official hashtag EUCC video thing. Wanted to go through this with you. It will not be a long video. It's quite a short bit of patch notes, but however, there are some really interesting things in here, which I think we should be talking about. Thank you for those of you that newly followed or newly discovered, and thank you to Wargaming for promoting me to CC Captain Commander of the Chicken Empire. What we're going to do is we're going to have a quick look at the January update, which is Fighting Spirit. Now, the first thing you should know is that this is only a 2-week update. Realistically, what that means is that Admiralty backing is kind of a take it or leave it, but we'll talk through it. Usual rules apply. Update will be out on Monday, and no doubt that'll be coming in the afternoon US time, and in the morning in the UK. So for those of us that are at work, this doesn't matter. For those of you that get home from work and want to play ships first thing on a Monday morning, you might have to wait a bit before you can play some ships. However, a few things. It is a new year, really short update, but there's a few interesting things, and what I wanted to talk about was what should be interesting to you and probably what you may skip over. First things first, obviously there is a code in here, so it's here. I'm going to read it out and then you can copy and paste it into the comments in the video. LBP9KWX7PY. Yes, and that will get you a Secret Santa 23 crate and some camos. Hooray! You can always do with more camos. Certainly to, how can I put it? Convert them into that lovely black camo and make some of your ships even more sexy than they are. This is a 2-week campaign. Now, realistically, what's interesting about this is that the first milestone will give you back half of your doubloons. So if you pay 2.5k on the doubloons, you'll see 1250 back. And then you will see a bunch of crates. You'll see 1 Super Santa, 1 Winter Big Crate, and 1 Commander Crate. There's also 4 insignias in here. I think for 1250, assume as you get 1250 back, I think for 4 insignias, some promotion orders and accommodations, I actually don't think it's bad value. Bunch of research points for you to spend in your bureau if you want to do it, and a little bit of commander experience, and obviously there's a bunch of crates in here as well. So I think if you're looking at it from a potential return perspective, it's worth it for the insignias alone and the commendations, and you never know what you get in the Super Santa crate. I think on that basis, probably worth a look, if we're being honest. I'm not going to go through these one by one. I've just skipped over it. Brawl's coming back. Now, this is all about the battleships. Now, if you remember what the last Brawl did, okay, remember the torpedoes from the destroyers? Yeah. But to be fair, the most fun one for me was always the battleships. So, increased damage, increased dispersion. Don't know what those numbers could be. If it's anything like it was in the last one, I think, what was the damage? 150%, 100%? It was a lot. And the reload as well. Remember the Dunkirks? Oh, my word. That's going to be a lot of fun with your buddies. Cruisers will be Season 5. Again, I'm looking forward to that one. Destroyers, not my thing, but battleships and destroyers and cruisers, yeah, I'm up for that. What tier will they be? They haven't said in here, but we'll find out shortly. There will be a blog post on it on the January the 19th, which I do believe is next Thursday, so a week today. There is a new ship, Tier 7 Premium Cruiser Rochester, which looks a little bit like a Baltimore to me, which will be interesting. Super heavy AP shells, high speed and excellent firing angles. Okay, that's fairly standard. Allows you to rain steel and fire down upon your foes. This new American cruiser has a very neat combo of features. She's also equipped with sonar and a smoke generator. So does that suggest she's a Tier 7 heavy American cruiser with, and she looks like a heavy, she might not be, without radar. So no radar, but she does get smoke. All of the Edinburgh captains out there will be looking at this going, how thick is the bow? Because if it's kind of trolly like your Wichitas, and fairly heavy like the Baltimore, which isn't as strong. I don't think it's as strong. This could be quite one of those monsters. Be interesting to see how this one plays, and there will definitely be a video on it out there. So maybe it's a mini Des Moines, but then again, it's no radar. Kind of makes you wonder why. But let's see. Now, what is the most interesting thing for me, mainly because I'm a massive baguette flinger, is the French Destroyer rework. I would probably call it a tweak, but I think their professional name for it is a rework. 7 ships have been significantly revamped, including Le Fantasque and Kleber. Got to be honest, I think they're both great already. They were even better before they got nerfed and had their torpedo range reduced. Oh well, the Fantasque got nerfed before the Kleber got released. But fundamentally, the way they did that so they could fit the Kleber in and balance it better. Now, each of these obviously has currently one single main battery reload booster. And if you remember when you're playing your French destroyers at the moment, you're very, very selective about when you pop that. Often it's when you're up against a Cabba, you're up against a gearing, you're up against something that's pretty much a gunboat destroyer, and you need that extra firepower because your 7-second reload, particularly on the higher tier ships, does need that 50% boost in a reload. So there's going to be a main battery reload booster. And if I remember correctly, and I don't know where this came from, they're also making it a little bit longer as well. So you get to fire another set of shells or another broadside, which again is going to increase that damage output in that short period of time. All Italian Tech Tree cruisers are finally getting SAP. Some will go woohoo, monk potentially. Some will not give 2 hoots. Because particularly I think at the lower tiers, the HE is maybe more consistent and it's easier for newer players to get to grips with. And I agree with that. SAP is quite situational, but it does give us the additional option. It's nice that it's been added. There has been an HE shell logic rework. Now, this is something that I'm intrigued by because how many times do you get HE shell shattering? So now the penetration value of the shell now needs to be the same as the armor thickness, not more. My understanding of that is that it means that you will get less shatters. How many less? I really don't know. It will depend on each shell. But I'll be interesting to see how that works because particularly with my Colbert, if you or in Atlanta or some of those Flints, Boise's, things that are firing 127 mil HE, you can get a lot of shatters, particularly on high-tier battleships. It will also impact the Akizuki, I imagine, as well in terms of the HE that fires. So 100 mil guns on the Akizuki, and smaller penetration, lower caliber penetrations. So the lower caliber penetration on HE shells, so your 14-inch gun-armed battleships, may actually be even more dangerous. We shall see. And then, of course, as is traditional, because they can't go more than 6 months without buffing the Vanguard, it's critical. Again, that has actually improved its HE penetration. What I imagine, in combination with the above, I imagine that's given it that's pushed it over another threshold. So you're going to be doing more damage with the Vanguard. It remains one of those ships whereby I'd always rather play the Monarch at that tier. I'm not going to talk about the Lion because it's not fair, because I never got it. But to be honest, the Vanguard at the moment isn't doing badly. I don't know if that's necessary. It depends on how the previous buffers affected other ships and how it balances. So, okay, there's a few bug fixes. Nothing of them are particularly of any real import. They're not actually massively game breaking. They all appear to be sort of details things. In short, this is a short, sweet, get it while it's hot update. Very short progression, 2 weeks. There's some rewards in here that I think are worth more than 1250 doubloons. which is what you'd end up paying for it. But like all things, if you're short on cash, don't do it. Save it for when something comes out. In terms of the Rochester, I'd love to see how that works. I'll be really, really keen to see how that competes and how that compares with ships like the Baltimore, how that compares with the Wichita, both the CE and the new one, how that will compete, how that looks against the likes of the Edinburgh and the Albemarle. Edinburgh obviously being smoke or radar, and Albemarle being radar, so, and having a very squishy bow. So yeah, would love to see it, but come and check us out. We're streaming Mondays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, World of Warships Legends. Do come and look at us at twitch.tv/Blaymeister. The chickens are very friendly and they will not peck you to death unless you insist I play carriers all evening. They're good like that. Thank you ever so much for listening. Thank you for watching. Drop us a like. Subscribe if you like the way I do this. Or, even better, tell me where I could do it better. I am mainly a streamer, or certainly have been. So any input and value that you can add to me, giving more information, being better at how I communicate this stuff from wargaming, will simply make me a better content creator and will help you. Help me help you. Anyway, King Chicken out. Have a great rest of your day. Love you lots. Take care. Stay safe. And yay! French destroyers are getting a buff. Woohoo!